Right, guys, it's getting interesting and exciting. It's the CAF Champions League. We are here again to do a preview of the third round of games. This is still the group stages, and we've had some interesting results in the past two rounds. As usual, I have Mama and G.H. Armando in the building.
Yeah, I'm here.
And I also have the pundit extraordinaire. Rosso in the building.
I'm ready to go.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
He's always ready to go. I mean, I'm super excited to have all of you, and to all of you who are enjoying the content and clamoring for support for African content. We appreciate every one of you, and those who are subscribing and leaving comments. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, in the comment section as well. I've seen a couple of encouraging comments as well. We appreciate you. We don't claim to know it all, but some of the things we say are just what we know or what we think. So if you have a different opinion, you can just respectfully share it in the comment section and we will be good to go. Right. Also, Sundowns, after some bad performances, have a new head coach. We'll be talking about that as well. Probably we just have to start with that in our conversation before we get into the preview of the games. Because if you agree with me, Sundowns have really had some not too good results. And I remember you saying that even domestically, they weren't really pulling up very good performances. Now they've changed the head coach. And I think that goes to buttress the point. What do you think?
Absolutely, and I also mentioned that some concerned legends in the country were also complaining about the recent performances of Mamelodi Sundowns because their name far outweighs the performance they are bringing week in, week out. It hasn't been rosy for them at all this past couple of weeks, if not months. But the question is it a coach's problem in the club? Could it have to do with the system problem? There may be some inherent problem in Sundowns, and for which matter, if you put the coach aside and bring another coach, he may just come to inherit a system problem, which may not also allow him or give him the opportunity to work very well. So, but I mean, in a football club, the first sacrificial lamb is the coach.
It's always the coach.
Once results don't go according to expectation. But I just hope that Sundowns can bounce back. And they are taking the cue from TP Mazembe. Mazembe recently rank changes in the team. Playing body, they brought on some new players, went for some new coaching staff. And I mean, it has been good for them. But sometimes it is not according to script that you just make changes and the results begin to come positively. Good luck to Sundowns, though.
But you also agree with me sometimes, just that little trick or that new person heading the dugout can actually
absolutely yes. So it's a double-edged sword. It may go negative, it may go positive. You bring a new coach to helm the affairs. It comes in with some renewed hope, and there is that energy he injects into the team. So that could just be the tonic the club needs to bounce back. I believe Sundowns will bounce back, but it's a matter of when.
Right. New coach. His name is Miguel, Coach Miguel. I think from formerly of Esperance, but from Portugal. Do you think he's going to be able to turn things around for Sundowns?
Well, first of all, I think it's going to be a little bit tough for him. It's not going to be easy, to be honest. Usually, I don't advise sacking coach in the middle of the season. Yes, if you're not lucky, it will destroy a lot. We've seen that in many cases, even in Europe and all that. So for me, it may be the turning point, and it may be, the worst decision ever. If you remember, Mankoba, the coach they've just excused, Mamelodi Sundowns, has been around the club for over a decade. So it tells you that he's somebody who understands the club's culture and everything. Now you are bringing in a new face, a new identity may be introduced. You understand? And that has not been easy for many clubs to change their culture, their system and everything. So for me, in the middle of the season, I usually don't really advise sacking coaches. But bringing in Miguel Cardoso is somebody who has a huge experience. He has a huge experience.
So you think he might be able to?
Yes, it may be some sort of.
I just want us
decision.
to take this as a starter, because of where we are getting into this conversation.
Exactly,
because you cannot always take away results from what is happening around the club itself.
Exactly,
so basically, that was where I wanted us to. But then we were supposed to have a game today. That is Ahly versus Belouizdad.
Yeah.
But that game has been postponed. Later on, we will see when that game is supposed to be played. But we have a Group A encounter tomorrow against TP Mazembe versus Young Africans. Yanga, they are playing against TP Mazembe tomorrow at TP Mazembe's home.
Yeah, I think Yanga, they've been suffering for some time now, churning out poor result after poor result.
Right.
And there's some hope in the club, because I understand that a legion of their fans have made a short trip across to Lubumbashi in Congo to play TP Mazembe. Yeah. So it's a ploy to, getting support for the club, because at this current circumstance in the club, what they need is the 12th man behind them, which is their fan base. And listening to their media relations officer, he made mention that he has news that their fans are getting across the border into Congo to support them. They acknowledge the might with which Mazembe come, because if you check even in the Congolese league, they are in Group A and they top the pack.
Yeah.
Now after 8 games, Mazembe have won 6, they've drawn 1 and lost 1, amassing about 19 points. So it's a good round of form going into a game like this against a less fancied Yanga, because Yanga is not a small club, but at this point in time they are not giving out good results. So I think that it will be a daunting task for Yanga to beat TP Mazembe in Lubumbashi. Very, very difficult. Mazembe themselves, they've got nothing to worry going into this game. They just have to go ahead without being swollen-headed. No overconfidence. They must take it in their strides.
Because they obviously are not also doing very well. Because the 2 games they've played, they've drawn 1 and they've lost 1.
Yes, and in the championship.
Right, in the championship.
That's true.
In the championship.
These are 2 sides that are yet to win a game in the competition. You understand? And so it's a game of equals, given the permutation
results,
we have in this championship. But I think Mazembe are head and shoulders.
Right.
Mazembe. I would like to disagree slightly, though, because I think Yanga for the past few games against TP Mazembe has been doing well.
Against TP Mazembe?
TP Mazembe, okay. Yes. They met in the Conference League in the year 2023. So Yanga were able to beat TP home and away.
Right.
So going into this game, even though it's a new season, new competition altogether, but I still think that if Yanga is going into this game with the mindset that we beat them before we can beat them again. So if they go into this game with that kind of mentality, and remember they don't even have a point so far in the Champions League. So they need the point.
They haven't yet to score.
Exactly. So it must be a motivation for young Africans going into the game, hoping that they will capitalize on what they've done
and
so
get a
far.
win.
Yes.
So for you think
a slight win for Yanga.
Your scoreline?
Yes. 1-0, 2-1.
1-0, 2-1.
Yeah, just a slight win
for young Africans.
I think convincing win for TP Mazembe.
2-3-0
by a good margin, yes.
Right. Okay. So I think I'll take that, since he's always conservative about his scoreline. For me, I think, just as you say, I think this is going to be a very, I don't know how to put it.
A tricky one.
Exactly, because all of these teams are really, really very, very, are in places that they need results. And TP Mazembe playing at home, they would also want to show something. Young Africans, as you said, per their,
head-to-head so far,
so it's going to be dicey. And for me, I think Young Africans will take this one. I see Young Africans taking this by a lone goal or 2 goals to 1. Right. So the next one is Maniema Union versus AS FAR of Morocco.
Congo Kinshasa.
Right.
Maniema and
it's played in Maniema's home.
Maniema in Kinshasa.
Right.
That AS FAR from Morocco are going to. And look.
And that's a Group B encounter,
Group B encounter. So I think that there is so much to play for in this game. quite apart from the 3 points at stake.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Because Manama, for me, it's been topsy-turvy. It's been topsy-turvy for them going into this game. And they would want to, have a grip on their chances in this group stage. Because it is still an open contest. Nothing is concluded yet.
Right, yeah.
After match day 3, you still have some 3 match days to go.
Right.
And once you're able to, leverage on your gains and then up your game plan, you are likely to get more points and then stand the chance of qualifying to the quarterfinal of the championship.
Right.
Look, strange enough, I acknowledge the strength with which Rabat come, you understand, but I just want to stick out my neck this time for Manama. That is what I want to do in this game.
Right,
yeah.
right. And
it could be a slight win for them.
Right.
Exactly. I wanted to say same because if you look at what Manama have done in the previous games, it tells you that they are a stubborn team to beat. They are very stubborn.
Very, very difficult to beat.
And now they're even playing at home. So it's going to be a very tough game for FAR Rabat. And if they were able to, go head-to-head with Mamelodi Sundowns, then I think they should be able to do that against FAR Rabat.
Especially in their home.
Exactly. So I also will go for a slim
win for Manama.
I think Manama need to do one thing. They must put the marksman of Rabat in their pocket. His name is Mohamed Ramat. He's been scoring for them. I think they're able to contain him. If they're able to contain him, yes. And now take their chances. I think they're likely to.
And I believe they will do so because they've been really good defensively in the Champions League. I'm sure they'll be able to do that.
And I think I also go with Manama slight win because they're very stubborn. I keep saying this, and it's probably going to pay off in their home turf.
Exactly,
their coach is very, focused. He's very straightforward and
a serious tactician.
Right. So
see how they play.
He doesn't play around with words and stuff. So I think I see overall I see them doing well in this
tournament.
Right, in this tournament. So we all go for a slight win for Manama. Right.
Yeah.
And I think the next one is going to be Stade Abidjan versus Orlando Pirates in Abidjan.
There's some feeling of deja vu here. the last and only time Pirates won the Champions League, CAF Champions League, was in that stadium, Félix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Abidjan, in Ivory Coast. And that was against ASEC Mimosa, you understand? And so Pirates go to Ivory Coast with some hope of reenacting what happened many years ago in the mid-90s, you understand? And well, after a 2-legged affair, they beat ASEC Mimosa to the title. And they've not been able to win it again, even though they came close, being beaten by Ahly in 2013. And then recently also in 2022, thereabout.
Right.
But I think that Stade Abidjan, and if you check, I see there's something concerning about West African clubs.
Yeah.
Armando, how many are there in this championship?
I was thinking about it this morning.
How many West African clubs are in the CAF Champions League?
And I think we have to get an episode around that.
Yes, we can discuss it. I think that it's like a Southern Africa,
Northern African affair
these days, but it's very concerning for West African football. But back to the game, I think that Stade Abidjan, they were unable to win their last game. It's a confidence dampener going into this game against Pirates. And Pirates are able to grind results sometimes on the road, not just in their backyard. And I feel that there will be a very, very huge mountain to climb for us, Stade Abidjan. It's difficult for them. They are Ivorian champions, for crying out loud, but they are unable to account for it in the Continental Championship.
Right.
I look, on a scale of 1 to 10, I wouldn't give Stade Abidjan even a 4 out of 10 chances of winning this game because they've not proven to be up and doing in these championships. It is Orlando Pirates to lose. I think Pirates will win this game.
Right.
Yeah, I think Pirates will win this game.
Right. Pirates will win.
Yes. Stade Abidjan has a huge task ahead of them.
Right.
Playing against Orlando Pirates.
Right.
Orlando Pirates even now on a high spirit. Yes, I think so. And Stade Abidjan still not even a point for themselves in the Champions League so far. Is something really not good for them and West Africa as a whole. So going into this game already, the motivation for them is not there. If you're in a competition and definitely you are not getting the points you needed, you feel like the mountain is so high for you. So going into this game, Orlando Pirates are definitely the strong favorite for this match. So I definitely will go in for Paris.
I think I'll definitely be with Orlando Pirates on this one. I mean, looking at where they've come from in this particular championship, I think they've won one and they've drawn one. Yeah. Right. So I think they are definitely, and Stade Abidjan is yet to even win a game or even get a point. So I think Orlando Pirates are shoulders high above Stade Abidjan. But hopefully, as you said, it's not just 3 rounds. Yeah. Hopefully they will pick up their form and come back. So I also go with what's the name?
Paris.
Orlando, right? Yeah. Your scoreline?
It should be 3 goals.
3 goals.
Yeah, to Paris.
For Paris, 3 goals to 0.
Orlando doesn't want to say landslide.
Yeah, but
it will be a good
win.
Oh, it will be a very comfortable win. But you see, there's that small window of opportunity. Like maybe Stade Abidjan should spring a surprise. That will be against all the odds.
Right.
Against all the odds. But a very comfortable win.
Right.
For Pirates. I think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Comfortable win for Pirates. For me, I think it's also going to be a win for Pirates as well. Now let's get into the next game. MC Alger versus Al Hilal. Al Hilal. Same day, and this is going to be a Group A encounter. Stade Abidjan, Orlando Pirates, a Group C encounter. So we are back on Group A. MC Alger is going to be playing with Al Hilal at 7 p.m. That is tomorrow. Right. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I think the game is in Algiers, in Algeria.
Right.
Yeah.
MC Alger playing at home to Al Hilal.
Right.
I think Al Hilal have been a very consistent team for some time now. They've been one of the rising powerhouses in Africa football.
They actually topped the group so far, following MC Alger. So they are just
And so I think that they are looking at knocking on the doors of clubs like Al Ahly of Egypt. Because if you check their trajectory for some few years now, you see that they've been trying to improve year after year. They used not to be like this, where they are today. They began somewhere. They've traveled this far. And I think it's a matter of time until they will reach that league where Al Ahly and Co are occupying. And if you check their team, they not necessarily play that beautiful football to please your eye. They do the most important thing, which is efficiency. They want to score a goal. And just like I mentioned about these North African clubs, they are also, most Sudanese players are tall, lanky, they've got good heading ability, and it comes in handy for them in their games. And so I think that Al Hilal, even though it's an away game for them, may pick a point on the road. That is the feeling I have. But take nothing away from MC Alger, because they also think that they must reinvent themselves. This is not a small club at all, but recently they've not been that very good, and they would want to make amends and then prove their mettle in front of their fans. So it will be difficult for Al Hilal of Sudan, but I think that Al Hilal of Sudan may just be traveling back to Omdurman with 1 point.
It's actually Al Hilal's home.
Al Hilal's home.
It's Algiers.
In Algeria.
Algiers home.
Yeah, in Algiers.
Okay.
It's an away game for Al Hilal.
Yeah, I was
in
looking
Algeria.
for, okay.
I feel they will travel back home with 1 point.
With 1 point, right.
If Al Hilal, go out of this game with a point, I think it's going to be a positive result for them. Because I see Alger pulling out a surprise on Al Hilal. And it's something that I believe if Alger are able to get their tactics right, which is always get the set pieces and deliver a good ball into the box, and that is some kind of tactics that usually surprises anybody at all. Whoever you are, you can keep your possession, and I'll definitely score. So that if they are able to perfect it right on that day, then I definitely think they'll get a surprise. So Al Hilal should just go in this game. If they get a draw, that's a positive result for them. But I'm seeing Alger pulling out a surprise.
Alger winning.
Yeah.
Right. What's your scoreline?
2-0, 2-1
for Alger.
Alger, yeah.
I predict a scoring draw.
A draw.
Scoring draw. Yes.
Right.
Scoring draw.
For me, I'll call it for. This is tricky. I'll call it for Al Hilal.
I suspected so.
I'll call it for.
I suspected so.
No, I'll call it for Al. I will make the same mistake twice.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Right. We are going to be having another encounter against Esperance of Tunisia and Pyramids of Egypt. This is going to be played in Tunisia, and we can call it the North African Derby.
Yeah. I think this is Tunisia versus Egypt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you check the last round, you saw what Pyramids came in for in that game, and I think that it's been an agreed notion in this studio about how Sahel, what's the name, Esperance of Tunis, have not been that very good as well, especially in recent times. If you compare what has been happening in the club with yesteryear and what they've been able to accomplish, it's a mismatch. But maybe it's just that they're on their way to bouncing back.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that for some strange reason, I have a soft spot for Pyramids going into this game.
This game, right.
Yes, and if you watched, I watched highlights in their previous match. I think it was, they played at home. No, they went away rather. They went away. Yes, Pyramids. They went away
to was the Stade d'Abidjan.
No,
was it not Stade d'Abidjan?
No, not
it wasn't
Stade d'Abidjan. It wasn't Stade d'Abidjan.
It wasn't Stade d'Abidjan.
It was either was it Joliba?
Yeah, Joliba AC.
Right.
Was it Joliba?
Yeah,
Joliba
right.
AC.
Joliba,
and so I thought that they can take that mentality into this game, even though it is an away game for them. So they know each other very well. These North African clubs, especially the Arab factor, the Arab world, their clubs know each other very well.
Very well.
And mostly these games get so emotional, if you observe. They get so emotional, it may even get rough sometimes. There's some tension in the game.
Right.
These are characteristics of North African clubs going into derbies against each other. These games are difficult to call.
And you should also remember they are all on the same points. The same. Their difference is just the goals.
The goal difference.
Goal difference.
Yes.
Right. Pyramids have a goal difference of 4 plus 4, and yes, Esperance also have +4, but Pyramids conceded a goal.
Yes.
So I think that is
and
just
that's the difference. It's a slight difference. It may not count for much.
Right.
I think it may not count for much.
So it's going to be tough.
Yes, but slight advantage for Pyramids, even though it's an away side in this team.
Well, I also think that Pyramids are slightly, in terms of form, in terms of what they've been doing so far in the tournament. I think Pyramids are slightly ahead of them. But Esperance is playing at home, which I think they should take advantage of. Usually,
the home support.
The home support should give them the hope and the opportunity to ride over Pyramids. So for me, a draw might come out of it. A draw.
Yeah. Well, let's see how that goes. But I would just simply call it for Pyramids as well. I'll call it for Pyramids. Now,
sorry, Pyramids.
Right.
I think that if you check the Egyptian league and the Egyptian football, they are a rising club.
Yeah. Very well.
You used not to hear of them. It was just Zamalek.
Right. I was just about to check
Zamalek,
that.
Al-Ahly, Zamalek, Al-Ahly, and then Al-Masri and all those clubs around Port Said. But recently, I think Pyramids, they've been proving themselves. Yes. And given the right managerial, acumen, I think they can rise.
They can rise. And they're in the Egyptian league, they are just a point below Al-Ahly and Zamalek and, the first club, which is Al-Masr.
It used to be a two-horse race, Al-Ahly, Zamalek, Al-Ahly, Zamalek. They can be the third
Al-Masr has
force.
also come, and Pyramids is also here.
Yeah.
Right, so let's look at the next game. My very own Sundowns. Raja will be playing Sundowns. No, that's not the game. Sundowns will be playing
at home.
Raja at home.
Yeah.
Sundowns, Raja at home.
So
we have a new coach. Please tell me who are going to win. And we've actually had fans in the comment sections telling us for Sunday we are going to win. Masandawana, we are going to win.
I don't know the kind of a welcome they will give to their new manager.
Right.
And I don't know what X factor he's bringing onto the table. But hopefully the marriage goes well. Hopefully the marriage between coach and Sundowns goes well. But he inherits a team in a certain problem, in a very bad shape and form currently. He's got his work cut out for him. He must negate the slump. He must change things in the club. And I think that what he may need in this club, legendary Sundowns, may be time, which may not come in handy because it's a pressure club. Right. It has a huge fan base that always wants to win. Win. You know, there is no time to even hazard a guess around losing, especially going trophyless in the season. Right. So I think he comes to a club that has, boiling point of pressure. He must prepare himself for it. But this game against Raja, it affords him an opportunity to kickstart his era in this club. But what a way it would be for him to kickstart his era in Sundowns with a win against no less a club than Raja Casablanca. These are two powerhouses in African football. You understand? Yeah. So Raja would want to put some sun in their gari. Right. It will be difficult for them. Right. I don't think I will call this game for Sundowns. It will be very difficult for Sundowns.
Sundowns, Raja.
Well, for me, I believe and I think Sundowns have a clear upper hand in this game. In a sense that usually, if there's kind of a change in the head coaching department in every club, then every player want to improve, want to impress. Right. So in some moments, those matches are usually very, very easy for them, for the managers, especially in the first game. But also what I also want to believe that will give them the advantage is that the coach is a very experienced coach, very, very experienced coach, who have gone through so many different cultures, different environments, and he has been able to do well. So
especially
for me,
within the African
terrain, not even Africa. He has been to the Europe. He has been to Nantes in France, Celta Vigo in Spain. So he has that.
No, but what I mean is that his experience in the African terrain is also,
of course. Yes, of course.
An addition. Yeah.
So that's something he will bring in. He bring into the team. Right. He will be able to manage the players because of his experience. So for me, it will be a good game for Sundowns, and whatever be the case, a win for Sundowns.
Right. I definitely, is going to agree with Armando. This game we must win by all means. At least a 2-0 for Sundowns. So you predict a win? What's your score?
At least 2-1.
2-1 for Sundowns.
They just did a win.
That's fair.
Draw. Yes.
Why do this
draw.
to me?
Oh no! Look, there's an enormous task. ahead
of
this
us.
manager. It's difficult. They must look beyond Raja Casablanca. They must look beyond building an immediate future where there will be progress, so that ultimately Sundowns return to their glory days.
Fully.
Look, I'm not a fan of that club. You understand? But when they are in their elements, you enjoy football and you watch them as a neutral. You love the way they play.
Right. Sundowns, please. Surprise them.
Especially they are the Brazilians.
The Brazilians.
And I love Brazilian football. So for that.
Right. Okay. So our next game is going to be a Group D encounter, which is between Joliba versus Sagrada Esperance.
Joliba are yet to win. They are yet to score. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Now, they are welcoming Sagrada Esperanza from Angola to Bamako in Mali.
Right.
Now, there's a way you look at this game and then you just conclude it's a game of equals because Sagrada themselves are not that impressive.
Yeah.
They are relatively new in these waters. Relatively, they are new in this competition. And when you are new in a competition, you virtually have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove.
Right.
You only have to do your best. If you don't go up there, you are not blamed. If you drop from the first round, you are not blamed as well. So there's that barren expectation. No pressure on you. Just go there and do what you have to do. I think that is the way they are probably approaching this CAF Champions League season. And Joliba themselves have got to give their home fans something to celebrate. I think this may just be the time for them to do something like that. And, it is not a very good thing to notice. It's an unenviable record not to score a goal. Now, but they've been conceding.
Yeah.
So it means that their coach must work at, closing all the holes in his defense and then making his strikers potent enough in front of goal. You are conceding goals, you are not scoring goals. It doesn't have to be like that. I feel they can win this game at last and score goals in this game.
Joliba, you mean?
Yes. Okay. I think I am throwing my weight behind them. Joliba AC Bamako. I think they've got to win this game and then give the fans something to celebrate. As for Sagrada, well, they may just have to travel back to Angola empty-handed.
What's your scoreline?
I think what's the name? Joliba will win this game.
Joliba win.
Yes, close
win. Okay,
yes.
All right.
Well, this game is relatively
because the two of them all are down there with 1 point each. Very similar, and, standings.
Conceding as well.
Right.
All of them conceded. Both of them conceded.
Sagrada conceded 5 goals and Joliba conceded 4. So that's just the difference.
Sagrada scored one goal.
Yes, so that's just the difference.
It's going to be a very strange game. For me, I believe it's going to be a scoring draw.
Right, scoring draw.
Both teams, swallow goals. So if any of them, even though Joliba is playing at home, they should be able to use their fans in their own advantage.
Right.
But other than that, I see a scoring draw.
Well, for me, I think this, I also call a draw for this particular game. Joliba, Sagrada, they are all struggling at the bottom of their group, and I don't really see anyone pulling up a surprise.
Joliba, do me proud. Yes, Joliba. Do me proud. Yes, you have a fun in Ghana.
Right. And so the last game for the week will be, or for the round 3 round of games will be a Group C encounter between Ahly versus Belouizdad. The postponed game will be played on the 22nd of December. That's the 22nd of December, right?
And let me come to you first. You see that it postponed because of Al-Ahly's involvement in the FIFA Club World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
That will be ruled soon. And it has been expanded. And I saw a video somewhere. I think you're talking the chances of Chelsea in the talking of Chelsea's chances in the yes, it has the format of the FIFA World Cup for international national teams and all that. And I love the expansion. It is one thing you have to pat FIFA on the back for.
Right.
Yeah. But Al-Ahly play. I think it's in Cairo, right?
This game
against Belouizdad.
Yes, it's in Egypt. Yeah.
It's in Cairo, and it's difficult to look beyond an Al-Ahly win in this game. Yeah, so that typical rivalry will come into play because it is that North African affair.
Right.
Yeah, and once these clubs know each other very well, it will take something extraordinary for Al-Ahly to ultimately prevail over Belouizdad.
Right.
I can't see Belouizdad surviving this game. No.
Right. Al-Ahly, Belouizdad.
And then just to add, look, you see, there's a certain thing we must not lose sight of. Al-Ahly going into this tournament, they may not come out the way they went into it. They may suffer some injuries and all that going into their next CAF encounter. Right. So the hope for them is that they come out unscathed with no injuries and all that, so that they can go ahead and then enhance their chances in the CAF Champions League.
Right. Al-Ahly, Belouizdad.
Yes, I think I'll agree with Rosso on that. They have a different assignment somewhere, and definitely it will have a big impact in their performances because
the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yes, especially.
I think it's starting somewhere in
no, this one is FIFA
Intercontinental Cup. FIFA Intercontinental Cup.
It's starting when?
It's playing. Is it tomorrow?
Oh, okay.
We need to confirm it.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me confirm that. But you see, these are the teams that if they get this kind of opportunities, they don't want to actually miss it. So they tend to focus more on that, the international platforms. So for me, it's happening on the 14th of December. The FIFA International Cup.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's today.
Exactly.
Sorry, tomorrow.
So you see,
that's why they
definitely will take it very serious. And if they are going to do that, that means when they come to play at against Belouizdad, it's going to be a very different game. You understand? So Belouizdad will have to take advantage of that. And luckily, if they decide to rest some players, that would be a big opportunity for Belouizdad to actually capitalize on that.
So that game has been postponed to when?
22nd December.
22nd of December. Oh, okay.
I think next week.
Next week.
Right. So what's your prediction of the game?
It's going to be tough for both teams because of whatever that is going to happen before then.
There's some space
until
that game, and so many things can change. Apart from the fact that Ahly are a big a powerhouse against them.
And they were busy. Ahly were busy. So definitely they will be rotating players and all that, which
affect them.
Yes, it may affect them.
And Prince, this is where squad depth comes
into play.
How large your squad is to contain all these games.
Exactly. So for me, I would love Belouizdad to give me a surprise, but it's definitely going to be tough for them. But a draw. Yes, I see a draw in that.
Right. You see a win for
I think Al-Ahly would win in Cairo, yeah.
Win for Al-Ahly. And I also give Al-Ahly a win. Right, guys, those are the games that will be happening in the CAF Championship or the CAF Champions League. That's the round 3. I think this weekend round of games. So let us know what your predictions are in the comment section. If you disagree with any of the comments, just respectfully let us know what your point is in the comment section as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you are watching for the first time. Smash the like button. And as many of you keep saying, let's support African football. That is what we are doing here. And what you can also do to support is to subscribe and keep watching the videos, sharing the videos so that we'll get a lot of traction, we'll get a lot of people to, support what we are doing. And that will keep us encouraged and that will keep us, going and shooting more content for you. As usual, we've been able to give you what our predictions are, our scorelines are. What your scoreline is, put it in the comment section. And we'll be back with more. Peace. We are.